you been told the only way to get an offer accepted is to increase the purchase price? That is not always the case. Let's talk about creative ways to draft a contract so your offer stands out. There are a few different contracts you can use when writing an offer on a home in Florida. For this video, we will focus on the Northeast Florida Association of Realtors contract, or NEFAR contract. You should always read every section of anything you are signing, and we are happy to explain any part of this agreement. What I'm about to go over are the main sections that can be customized to make your offer stand out, set timelines, protect you, and directly affect the money in your pocket. Let's start from the top. After we have looked at comparable homes in the area that have recently sold, we will determine what a fair offer price would be. We will take into account things like how long has the home been on the market, what major repairs are needed, if any, and do we need to ask for seller credits to help with closing costs or to buy down your interest rate? Or do we need to sell a home first in order to close on this one? Now that we have a purchase price, we can decide on the binder deposit or escrow deposit amount. This is most commonly due within 3 days after the contract is signed by all parties. There are a lot of different scenarios here, but keep in mind, as long as we stick to our timelines and are thorough with communication, we should be able to protect these funds throughout the transaction. Now, our binder deposits are typically held at the title company where we are closing in a separate escrow account. When we go to close, this money will be credited towards your cash to close, which we'll dive into in a later video. That means these are your funds we are offering to place with the title company to show the sellers we are serious about their home. While there are no legally required minimums, most of the sellers I talk to are looking for at least 1% of the purchase price. Going higher than that can show the seller that if the home checks out, we are very serious about closing this deal. Because these are your funds that are being used as part of your cash to close, a strong binder deposit can put your offer ahead without you actually spending any more money. That, and sometimes offering to submit the binder sooner than the 3 days I mentioned earlier, can really set your offer apart. Next, let's dive into the inspection period. As I mentioned earlier, you are able to use any inspector that you want, but they need to be licensed in the state of Florida. We always recommend getting a home inspection even on new construction. On the contract, you will see that the default time frame for this is 10 days. Another way you can make your offer stand out is to shorten this time frame. Now, with that said, during the inspection period, your binder deposit is protected in almost all cases. After that window has closed, the process and ability to get your binder deposit back does change, and we'll go over all of that in person when we meet. But at the bare minimum, we really recommend you get a 4-point inspection and wind mitigation report, again, at the bare minimum, so we can get the most accurate quote on your home insurance. A 4-point looks at the roof, plumbing, electrical, and HVAC systems to ensure that they have been installed properly and are currently working, and about how much life is left on each. The wind mitigation report will tell us how well the home can stand up to high winds and can get you a discount on your insurance premium. We also recommend a WDO inspection, or wood destroying organism inspection. This is going to test for any signs of wood damage in or around the home, typically caused by water or insects like termites. Now, a general home inspection will look at every aspect of the home, and we especially want to look out for large ticket items like signs of foundation issues or water intrusion. We're also going to be looking for health and safety items like overheating electrical panels or maybe lack of smoke detectors. Now, once the inspector is done, we should receive the report back within about 24 hours. We'll look over it together, and we can even reach out to the inspector with any questions. If there is a legitimate concern, we will fill out a repair request and submit that to the listing agent before our inspection timeline is up. Now, this opens up a 7-day window for all parties to negotiate, get quotes, have other professionals give a second opinion, and so on. As long as we can all come to terms, then the process continues. Please note, if we are unable to come to terms during the inspection period, in most cases, you would be entitled to get your binder deposit back. However, the inspectors are a third-party company and they did their job, so we would not typically get those funds back. The last section we'll go over for the purposes of this video is selecting a closing date. Here is another way we can make your offer more desirable to the seller without just offering more money. It is important to note that a quick close is not always best. First, depending on your loan type, your lender, and if you're paying cash, there are minimum timeframes it usually takes to close on a property. With cash, 1 to 2 weeks is doable, but with a loan, we usually need around 30 days. In some cases, it can take longer, and some lenders can even do it faster. But my job is to talk with the listing agent to find out the seller's desired time frame. Maybe the home is vacant and they're ready to close as soon as we are, but maybe they have to buy a home as well and they're not under contract, or there's tenants in place. It could be a short sale, or the home is in probate and being sold by a trust. All of these will affect when the seller can close, and within our ability, we want to try to mirror that as close as possible. Again, these are not all the components of the offer contract, but these are the main highlights and some great ways that we can make your offer as competitive as possible without just spending a bunch more money. For the next video, we are going to talk about some of the things you can expect from the lender during the loan process.